SpaceX pays $250,000 to silence flight attendant over fiery Musk claims. SpaceX, the aerospace firm founded by Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest man, just paid off a flight attendant $250,000 to settle a physical misconduct claim against Musk in 2018, we have just learned. Let's find out more. Who is this flight attendant? The attendant worked as a member of the cabin crew on a contract basis for SpaceX's corporate jet fleet. She accused Musk of exposing his private parts to her, rubbing her leg without consent, and offering to buy her a horse in exchange for a sensual massage, according to interviews and documents obtained by media sources. The incident, which took place in 2016, is alleged in a declaration signed by a friend of the attendant and prepared in support of her claim. The details in this story are drawn from the declaration as well as other documents, including email correspondence and other records shared by the friend. According to this declaration, the attendant confided to the friend that, after taking the flight attendant job, she was encouraged to get licensed as a masseuse so that she could give Musk massages. It was during one such massage in a private cabin on Musk's Gulfstream G650ER, she told the friend, that Musk propositioned her. What Musk says about this? After media contacted Musk for comment, he emailed to ask for more time to respond and said, "There is a lot more to this story. If I were inclined to engage in harassment, this is unlikely to be the first time in my entire 30-year career that it comes to light," he wrote, calling the story a politically motivated hit piece. Reached via cell phone, SpaceX Vice President of Legal Christopher Cardacci said, "I'm not going to comment on any settlement agreements." SpaceX did not respond to requests for comment to its general media contact email address. Offering a horse in exchange for a massage. The flight attendant told her friend that the billionaire SpaceX and Tesla founder asked her to come to his room during a flight in late 2016 for a full-body massage, the declaration says. When she arrived, the attendant found that Musk was completely naked except for a sheet covering the lower half of his body. During the massage, the declaration says, Musk exposed his privates and then touched her and offered to buy her a horse if she would do more, referring to the performance of physical acts. The attendant, who rides horses, declined and continued with the massage without engaging in any misconduct. The attendant is not for sale, the friend's declaration said. She is not going to perform such favors for money or gifts. The incident occurred during a flight to London. In an interview, the friend described the attendant's allegations in more detail. He whipped out his privates. It was erect, the friend said, describing the allegations, and he started propositioning her, like he touched her thigh and told her he would buy her a horse, and he basically tried to bribe her to perform some sort of physical favor. Punished for refusing to sell herself. The friend said that the attendant told her about the misconduct while they were on a hike together shortly after the London trip. The friend described the attendant as distraught and visibly shaken. She was really upset, the friend said. She didn't know what to do. The flight attendant told her friend that work began to dry up after she refused Musk's advances. Before the incident, she regarded Mr. Musk as a person to look up to, the declaration says, but after he exposed himself, touched her without permission, and offered to pay her for lewd acts, she was full of anxiety. She figured things could just go back to normal, and she would pretend like nothing happened, the friend said. However, she started to feel as if she was receiving some sort of retaliation where her shifts were cut back, and she was starting to feel really stressed. Eventually, the declaration says, the attendant felt she was being pushed out and punished for refusing to sell herself. Massages on demand. SpaceX places a special emphasis on massages, going so far as to employ in-house massage therapists as a perk for executives. According to the friend, the flight attendant was encouraged by her superiors to purchase her own professional massage training for her sessions with Musk. They encouraged her to get licensed as a masseuse, but on her own time, on her own dime, the friend said. They implied that she would get to fly more often if she were to do this because she'd be able to give Elon proper massages. I thought that was kind of strange because you weren't hired to be a masseuse, you were hired to be a flight attendant. And if Elon likes massages, then he should be paying for you to go to masseuse school. But she was just so happy and eager to have the job and be able to travel. A bulky $250,000 severance payment. In 2018, after becoming convinced that her refusal to accept Musk's proposal had diminished her opportunities at SpaceX, the attendant hired a California employment lawyer and sent a complaint to the company's human resources department detailing the episode. Around that time, the attorney's firm contacted the friend and asked her to prepare the declaration corroborating the claims. The attendant's complaint was resolved quickly after a session with a mediator that Musk personally attended. The matter never reached a court of law or an arbitration proceeding. In November 2018, Musk, SpaceX, and the flight attendant entered into a severance agreement granting the attendant a $250,000 payment in exchange for a promise not to sue over the claims. The agreement also included restrictive non-disclosure and non-disparagement clauses that bar the attendant from ever discussing the severance payment or disclosing any information of any kind about Musk and his businesses, including SpaceX and Tesla. Musk, who is currently engaged in a bid to purchase Twitter driven by his professed belief that free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, is yet to explain his side of the story. Choose to remain silent, become part of the system. The friend further explained that she decided to come forward without consulting the flight attendant because, as a survivor of assault, she felt an obligation to share what she has been told about Musk. Unlike the flight attendant, her friend is not bound by any non-disclosure agreement. "I absolutely felt a responsibility to come forward with it, especially now," she said. "He is the richest man in the world. Someone with that level of power causing that kind of harm and then throwing some money at the situation? That's not accountability. There are predators all over the world. But when someone is particularly wealthy and powerful, they literally have systems that are like a machine working for them, to set them up to be able to do whatever they want." Remaining silent, the friend said, would make her complicit. "When you choose to remain silent, yeah, you do become a part of that system," she said. "You do become a part of that machine that allows someone like Elon Musk to continue to do the horrible things that he's done." Non-disclosure agreements are crucial components of that machine. The friend said that before she reached out to media, she called the attorney who represented the victim. The attorney told her that, although she was free to speak to the press, sharing any documents from the case, including her own declaration, could put the flight attendant at risk. Her primary concern was clearly her client, the friend said. She recalled the attorney saying that confidentiality provisions are BS and that if any other women have been victimized by Musk, they ought to come forward. But when it came to her client, the attorney urged the friend not to share the declaration. That would be a massive problem, she told the friend. No longer allowed. California, where SpaceX is headquartered, no longer permits companies to require non-disclosure clauses in agreements like the one the attendant signed. Just months after her settlement in 2018, then-Governor Jerry Brown signed into law the Stand Against Non-Disclosure Act, which bars the use of NDAs going forward in settlements involving harassment, discrimination, or assault unless they are requested by the plaintiff. If there were a way for her to come forward without putting herself at risk, without jeopardizing her life in any way, I believe she would, the friend of the attendant said. I hope she feels like I did the right thing. I hope she feels like I said the things that she didn't feel safe enough to say. I would like for the truth to be revealed. This is the only known allegation and settlement for sexual misconduct tied personally to Musk. Musk just some time ago denounced these claims as utterly untrue. With that, we come to the end of this video. Consider subscribing to join in next time.